Well, there's something distinctly British about the heritage in this country, which is our history, and it represents the input of many, many diverse cultures and ethnic groups over the last 2,000 years. Oh, it's absolutely essential. It's the one great thing which is the link with generations which have gone before us, and which then is what we pass down to future generations. Being surrounded by wonderfully evocative places, I think, gives everybody a sense of great well-being and happiness. And of course, it's important for our economy, because when you think of England overseas, what you think of is our great historic fabric. More people visit paid for entry heritage sites, and it's important, paid for entry heritage sites, than go to Premier League football matches, because I think heritage and our history actually is more popular nationwide than that particular sport. It's not that I'm belittling that sport, but the fact is it gets many, many more people taking an interest in it. And that's before you start adding visits to natural heritage sites, which could be anything 200 million, 300 million people. Well, the government does quite a lot to help our heritage in terms of the favourable tax treatment which is extended to charities such as the National Trust and the English Heritage Trust. The one group of owners of heritage assets which are open to the public who are not able to benefit from a sort of level playing field are private owners. They get no real tax incentives, and in fact over the last 5 years the incentives they've had have been taken away, particularly in relation to VAT on repairs. And that seems to me to be fundamentally unfair, because charities and companies operate at a considerable advantage. One thing which it would be tremendous if the government was prepared to do would be to provide a lesser rate of VAT. There's something called the Cut VAT Coalition, which wants to see the rate of VAT for repairs to heritage buildings cut from 20% to 5%. Now, if that happened, those private owners who benefited from it would, of course, use the proceeds, the benefit of that, to invest in their buildings. And I think we've got to see this in the context of the estimate by the Historic Houses Association that their members alone have a backlog of conservation work of nearly £750 million. So they need the money, they need some help. Those houses are very much the main source of employment in the areas where they're based. And so it's really important. They are absolutely fundamental to the local economies. We are reassessing our heritage. I see that in the fact that there is increasing interest in it. You see that in terms of television programs, but you also see it just in the enthusiasm that heritage generates in terms of numbers of visitors to heritage sites and popular enthusiasm, which is evidenced on social media and through opinion polls and the rest of it. So I think it's happening. And what we need to recognize is that this is not something to be ashamed of. This is something to be proud of. We need to celebrate it as something that's great about this country.